So hi, everyone. As Daniel said, this is an introduction to a new course that we're going to have in the spring semester called Introduction to Visual Machine Perception for Architecture, Construction, and Facility Management. And you can see also on the screen the number of the class if you're interested into finding more about it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit what this is about, and hopefully you will be interested and join us next semester as we explore these topics. So what is this course about? What is visual perception? Machine perception is essentially computer vision. Is about having visual data, 2D or 3D, and understanding something with an algorithm about this data. Specifically here you see an example where we have a picture of an indoor space. And if you build an algorithm that is supposed to understand what exists in this, you can go from this raw image data to a high-level understanding of the scene with an automatic algorithm where you understand essentially the floor, the beam, the ceiling, the columns, any kind of element that exists in the scene, as well as the relationships between them. This is also very important for architecture, construction, and facility management purposes, because you cannot do anything without knowing what you have in your hands right now, right? If you don't know what is the status of your building, of your facility right now, you cannot go further with the process. And most of the times we either do not have this information in our industry, or it's lacking, or it's lagging in how it comes into the process. Just a disclaimer for this course, you do not need to have a machine learning background, a computer vision background, or a coding background. You're just required to be interested and enthusiastic about these terms and these topics so we can explore them together. How this course is structured, that will give you probably a better idea about what it is about. So we start by looking into computer vision, visual machine perception, and we are going to talk about data, how we collect them, what they should look like, what is the process of annotating them and using them into the algorithms, what very high level without going into details. We're going to talk about some of the algorithms, specifically the input and the output of them, metrics we can use to understand what's going on, evaluation, etc. And this is going to help you to get what is called computational thinking. It's going to help you structure that in your head, essentially how algorithms and computation work, so that you can use it further in your career. Either you dive more into machine learning and AI or not. And this is going to happen in parallel with another storyline where we're going to look into ACFM applications and see how we can use this visual machine perception into some of the processes. For example, in terms of design and architecture, we can look into generative algorithms and how we can generate floor plan layouts. Another possibility in construction is to understand the as-is status of our construction, to do progress monitoring, construction scheduling, supply ordering, and we can see how we can leverage this information for all these processes, as well as in terms of facility management, how we can do asset management, maintenance, renovation, and more. And the reason we can go, we're gonna have a broad spectrum of all these different examples and applications, and that will show you what are the nuances between them, what each of them needs, but also what is common between them, and how we can build algorithms that can serve each of these processes, but also a bigger picture of them. So after this class, you will be able, as I said, to think in a computational manner with respect to visual machine perception and applications in the ACFM industry. This is important, again, as I said before, because if you want to be a leader or at least competent in the market that's going to be in a few years, once you finish, this is something that is going to give you an edge and it's going to help you understand what's going on in the market and what are the next steps to take. You will gain an understanding of how this technology works, the basic stuff, as well as the importance to the ACFM industry. You will be able to identify some of the limitations, pitfalls, and bottlenecks, and critically think about those issues, and have some hands-on experience by creatively thinking about those algorithms, or even some kind of high-level design of an application. It's a 3-credit course. You will solve throughout the course mini exercises that will help you build this critical thinking, this computational thinking, It might be research on prior work or some kind of small hands-on interaction with a pre-existing system. So don't worry in terms of coding. Everything will be already built in. You just will have to get an understanding of what's going on. There is also going to be a final project, and we can discuss more about that if you join the course. Just know that all the mini exercises throughout the class are building up to you being able to do this final project. It's going to probably be it's going to be a developing or designing either high level or just the critical aspect of an application of a visual machine perception algorithm to some part of this industry, ACFM industry. Slides and other material will be available online, and the course, because it has a final project, does not have a final exam. Yeah, and this is just some, for example, of my research that I've done using visual machine perception to understand images and 3D point clouds, where you can see what exists in space, what are the elements, what are the properties. And with this, I'm going to ask you if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I hope to see some of you or all of you in the class at springtime.
Thank you very much, Dr. Armeni. And I'm curious if we have any questions from the students. Please feel free to raise your hand or turn on your camera.
Or your mic. That would also do.
Good. I would like to emphasize that it doesn't require a background in machine learning. I know there are some pretty heavy courses here about machine learning that might, not fit within your already full course load. But if you wanted to have something applied specifically to ACFM and without also having to do all of the programming, this would be a perfect fit for those interests. And I can't agree more with what Ira says about the market is going this way. I highly recommend to have an understanding of at least what is happening and how we can think computationally about machine perception in the future built environment.
And if I can add 2 quick points. The first one is that I, as well, am coming from an architectural background, and I dove into this topic a few years back. So I completely understand what it means to not know anything about coding or AI. So I hope I can transmit the knowledge in a way that it makes sense to you and it's not overwhelming. And second, view this course as a way for you to figure out if you want to actually dive more into this topic, right? So you can get familiar a little bit with what's going on, and then you can maybe choose other courses in later semesters that make more sense to you, or you can just dive into it on your own. But I think it will be a good introduction to this area. That's it.
Good. Last chance if there's any questions. All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Armeni, and look forward to seeing the course launch in February.
Great. Thank you.